Hi, everybody. Okay. I'm so happy to see everybody here, whoever's here. It might take a few minutes for the rest of the people to get here. I'm going to talk about something that is so critical that most people don't even know that it is the reason that there's no attraction anymore in the relationship. The men don't know what's going on. They're no longer attracted to you. You don't know what's going on. You're just exhausted. Everything is unlike the way it was in the beginning. You don't understand why things have changed. You've done more. He's done less. What the hell is going on? Hi, Sherry, my sweetheart. Number one, always out the gate. Always out the gate. I'm just getting ready. I just want to read something to everybody, just as an introduction. It might only be to you, Sherry, if you're the only one here, but that's okay. So I want to talk about something that's so critical. And because I have my sights, I've been so humbled. I've been so humbled doing my vids here on TikTok that has no filter. Let me tell you what humbling as fuck experience has been. So this is where we get raw. This is where we get really real. So here's what I wanted to say today. And I want to tell you, I am, religion is now under fire because it's been abused. It's been coerced. It's not being elevated to bring unity, but to bring division. But I will say it is within any religion that you will see at some point in there, you will understand the importance of how the woman is the missing link, the bridge between God and man. And the woman, and this is critical, please share this. The woman anchors the man spiritually with God, and the man anchors the woman here on earth. Why? Because when we even talk, do we use commas? No, we're like, and they're like, take a breath. Let's do this first, then we'll do this, then we'll do that. Men structure our life because we don't have a thing called structure. They go from point A to point B. This is how their penis is designed. We have a vagina, it has an opening. That means everything comes out all over the fucking place. Which is why a lot of women can't hold secrets. Which is why a lot of women, I believe, have to gossip. Because they can't contain. A man can contain. He can hold his penis. He can take it this way, that way, tuck it in the back, deal with it later. We can't deal with shit later. We have stuff inside, it has to come out. That is what feminine energy is about, coming out. Because feminine energy is an emotional energy. It's an emotional hormone. It absorbs, it has to process, and it has to take things out. So as a woman today, there is a little bit of a distortion, religiously speaking, on how, and I'm not going to handpick certain religions. It's not about blame. My work is to extract the distortion. I'm just trying to see if I can get better lighting. There we go. Oh my God, that's so much better. Hold on. Let me just adjust. Oh my God, that's much better. Before I read anything. Okay. My job and what I do on my channel. Oh my God, I love this lighting. Finally look normal. I know you don't care that I look normal, but I don't care that you don't care. I care. And my care comes first from me. So there. So here, what I want to say, I'm so happy now I can't even think. When something is aligned, it is aligned to bring man and woman together. If there's anything to divide man and woman, it is not healthy. It is not healthy because to feel God holy, it is man and woman. It is man and woman. It is masculine and feminine. I believe that we were brought down here because we were spirit, so God can experience love with masculine feminine energies, since it is now separate to be fused together, as opposed to just worship to God separate. God experiences love together and blossoms inside of us rather than just outside of us. That might have been a lot to take in. Let me go a little bit slower. Hypothetically speaking, consciousness, God is pure spirit. It does not have a sex organ. So it cannot experience this magic of love, but it can create us and through us, experience where spirit is joined now, masculine and feminine energies in two different entities, combining as one to feel the magic spark of love outside God consciousness. That's what I believe we serve. But we cannot serve this if man, our counterpart, is not fused with us, but seen as the enemy, seen as we have to be on guard. When man doesn't know how to address a woman, when a woman doesn't know how to build up or address a man, aka she mothers him. So before I get into all this mothery thing, there is not just the mothering issue in a relationship that goes into play here. There is such what do you call it? Can I do it this way? Is this still okay? No, it's really good this way. There is such forget the person in the back. Okay. There is such I need to address this not only for the personal aspect of a relationship, but for a planet. You have no idea how big this is. I'm about to touch into everything. If everything goes as we are playing it right now, and there gets a bigger division and a bigger distortion, and the women are in a sacrificial energy, and their feelings aren't a precedent anymore. It's not a priority. And the feelings represent woman. Feelings are woman. That's how you describe what a woman is. Because her body isn't filled with brain cells. Her brain cells up here. Her body's filled with feelings. So when she honors her feelings, she feels good about herself. When she turns her back to her feelings to appease another, she doesn't feel good about herself, and she ends up codependent on another. She is also unsure of herself. And let me tell you, when you have that kind of a weakness, how anyone can smell that on you and step on you. Because that's human nature. It's like the laws of the jungle. When an animal is bleeding, another animal doesn't come and offer him a bed. He circles that animal, and he waits for that animal to die so he can eat. And like that, People wait for your demise. People wait for you to dip. People wait for you to feel bad. That is when they feel good. Do not confuse that for friendship, because you'll know your true friends when something happens that is good. And you know what? This is painful to say, and it's even more painful to experience when your own boyfriend, when your own girlfriend, when something great happens to you and they want to just dismiss the story. They don't even want to hear you talk about it. That's not normal. That's a conditioned response. And it's a distortion, because it's distorted to look normal, because the majority of the world is not working in a very high evolved place of sovereignty, place of spiritual authority, place of knowing this is good, this is not aligning, this is not life enhancing. Anything that does not enhance you, anything does not expand you, that restricts you, that tears you down, is not a good thing. What is love? Love is not giving. That's not love. Love is, in order for love to exist, the energy of love, it has to give, be received, give some more, be received. It has to expand. That's why there's a symbol of a ring to circulate love. Love must circulate. When you just give, that's codependency and many other titles. So love can only expand. It can only rise. It can only make you feel better. So whether it's a leader, whether it's a father, whether it's a husband, it's a boyfriend, do they, just by who they are and how they talk and think, do you feel stronger? Do you feel more on top of the world? Do you feel more beautiful? Do you feel more of value? Then that's a keeper, because that's love. They don't have to say, I love you. They show you because they enhance you, not with fake words. Their strength. They don't talk about what they're going to do for you. They get that gift because it reminds them of you. They don't tell you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to help you with this. They think, they go plan, they go fucking achieve. That's how they show love. How does a woman show love? She's very happy. She enhances and calms down a man's overactive mind that has to be 24/7 because he's about the world. He's not in a bubble. A man is in his world, and he needs to be anchored in his world to get his bearings in his world, to feel like a man of his fucking world. For him, he needs to know the world so he knows how to protect his woman, his children, society. So this mother thing, not only do you iron out his nuts and completely make it wrinkle free and so it's useless like pancakes, not only do you kill his nuts, you destroy the sexual attraction that he had for you because he saw in you the goddess of almost something out of this world. A man doesn't want a woman that is like every other. It doesn't matter that you're a pill to swallow. It doesn't fucking matter that you're like so unusual and so much work and he can't navigate. It sharpens his ass. That's why he values you. Because you do not break. Because you stay true to your integrity. When you stay true to your integrity, the man trusts his heart with you. You're not going to sway when some fuckhead or man or woman says something else. He knows as much as you are rough with him, you're and you're not trying to be rough. You're just very crystallized in who you are. See, men don't like to not know who you are. They would rather you show all your colors so they know who the fuck they're dealing with. The women that hide, the women that are pretty, the women that are all nicey, that's nice. You won't trust that. He will want to know. And he may even feel pulled to instigate just to see how you handle something that is beneath you, just to see if you are true blue. But you see, when, oh, hi, who is this? Infant? I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses. I'll take it on a second. The biggest thing that's going on in the world right now, apart from division, apart from people being triggered in reactions, which means they are not in the present timeline. It's a distortion of energies. They're in a past fucking timeline. And the only way they can be in a past timeline is when they are not operating in the energy that is dominating their sex organ. Because when you honor an energy that opposes your very nature, it has to be skewed to fit your nature. Which means, let's say a man who's born a man, and something happens in his life, and it'll be connected to his mother, it'll be connected to past lives, that triggers his feminine. It could be, and a lot of times, this just came to me now, the men who feel handicapped in some way, who have some kind of special disability or learning curve, they come from a real big sense of weakness. That type may be mothered. That type may be shown a special consideration because he's going through something. So that will spike his feminine energy to be dominant. He's extra sensitive, not to you, but to the pain that he may receive by any discomfort you're going through. And that tips you into mother energy. I'll tell you how. Because when you want to say something, let me just get some water. When you want to say something to a man that's not pleasant about his behavior, and he's not a man, in other words, he's dysfunctioned. So what ends up happening is that his hypersensitivity, not to you, to him, he's not anchored in his logic of clarity of who the fuck he is, which means he can be swayed by someone giving their opinion of how he is, and not even an opinion. When someone just relaying to him, this negatively affected me, what he's hearing is, you're a fuck up. Why did you do this wrong? He'll have words like this because he feels wrong. Because he lives in very extreme black and white business. And because he's not in his own energy to explore a higher grain of truth where he can look down and say, oh, this happened for this reason. Okay, I guess she's uncomfortable when I do this. Let me think of another way. Let me think of another way that I can make this happen. Let me introduce more language. Let me talk to her more gently. A man who's anchored in his masculinity purely, it's not that he doesn't have his femininity. He does. He has his sensitive moments. But you see, he's not wearing his skirt on the outside. In other words, his energy is not cloaked in femininity on his outside, where his manhood gets buried inside and hardly has a time of day to come out. That's backwards. And that's what happens to a woman. When she's wearing the armor of masculine energy outside, instead of inside, prompting her next move, giving her the balls to go do what no one else will do, to not care what people think of her. When her masculine energy isn't in the inside and it's being worn on the outside, where's her feminine energy? She's sitting on her face. It's tucked away inside. She's afraid to speak because she has no place of importance. It's a very sad place to be. And that's these two people. So they act from the voice inside that never gets a chance to speak, that only speaks how? When they're triggered, when they react. That's not their adult self. That's not even their present self that says, oh, this was not the reaction I want. This person's fucked up. I need to cut myself off. They react as if the person has stabbed them with a symbol called a word. Why don't they see it as a symbol? Because they're not in present energy as an adult. They're a little boy or a little girl inside. And they hear it as yelling. They hear it, little children who do not understand your language yet, understand only energy. So they understand they are bad, no matter what you say. I don't have time for you now, blah, 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 blah. I'm bad. There's something wrong with me. That's what they understand. So this mother distortion, and I'm going to tie it in, and for those who don't know my work specifically, so you understand what it is to see the distortion and bring it out to clarity, is to put a name on things that people can't even, it's like they can't put their finger on what's wrong because it doesn't have language yet to them, because they can't see the insight at the root. I can see the insight at the root, because as a Heyoka empath, I'm a mirror, which means I put a huge spotlight there we go. Because I put a huge spotlight on that which is dark. Hi, love. It's very difficult to move forward in this life and just use your brain. I don't know how you all do it. Not only can you not anticipate what's happening in the day, you know, I'll give you an example. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago, I had another live. It was huge on TikTok. 7,600 people showed up. I was so high. And earlier that day, the live was at 7. At about 3 o'clock, I was coming out of the bathroom. And I said out loud, and I had some guests at the time that are part of this complex. I said at the time, oh, something really happy is going to happen tonight. And both those people turned to each other because they had just bought a lottery. So they thought it was about them. It was hilarious. I didn't say anything other than what I felt. And when the live exploded, And they found out about it. They said, "Oh, it was about you." I said, "Yeah, it was about me. What do you think? I'm going to feel it for you?" If you come to me as a one-on-one, which a lot of you do, those people, and even in classes, they feel it. They feel it within the next few days because you're interacting with my energy. And it's not any woo-woo stuff, but it's very plain and simple. Because I can point out the root of, when I say root, I mean the highest truth as to what's putting you in pain. Because what's putting you in pain is not that she did this. You're telling yourself, and this is not easy to do. You're telling yourself that this person did this to me unfairly. If you think back, I fucking promise you, and this has happened to me too, it doesn't matter that someone does something to you that's really unlawful. Okay. First of all, just understand karma does not misplace addresses. You cannot harm someone that's working for a greater cause and not get buried. You cannot. But you have to also ask yourself, where did I push it? Where did I see it was fucked up and I didn't back off? Where was I being a little bit spiteful because it hurt my feelings that this person did this, so I now did this. And that set a whole tumbling. And I swear, if you do that, you will see that one little thing. And it's okay to look at. We're not blaming. We are past 3D living here. This is a 4D channel. We are no longer attached to blame, shame, guilt, and pain. Shame is the biggest taker of life. And that's why I'm here to get people into the fourth dimension, because we are in a highly reactive, triggered world. It's not about tiptoeing over these people that you can say they're mentally ill. And in a way, it's true. They're mentally stuck in a ghost cage of another time, reacting to this right here because someone said a word, which doesn't stop their heartbeat. But to them, it sent them, sucked them in through a vortex in their mind to another timeline where their mother said the same word, or where the energy of the word is identical to what they went through. So they have to push you. The biggest thing I want to teach right now, and I'm getting ready to design 7 t-shirts, and they're very, very fucking powerful. You're not going to be able to wear them without feeling the clarity of each. And it's a totally, like, people, you'll probably make so many friends and attract money. One t-shirt's about money, and it's a lot of you are not going to even take it off. It's so strong. I said these t-shirts to a man, a taxi cab driver, when I was touring on my book tour, which is The Wisdom of the Penis, SOS manual, all about masculine, feminine energies. Catch it, check it out on Amazon. I do have my second book out now. These are ebooks. The first one is Chaos, Meet Wisdom, the Cosmic Dating Roast, all about what's going on. And I mean, you're going to be extracted out of it. The second book is From Chasing to Chosen, for those women who are tired of being in a mother energy. And the third one is Fuck the Fade. No more Delulu, just Dominion. I put them all together as a sacred and feral trilogy. There's also a workbook, a very pretty, very meticulously designed, unusual workbook. It's not like you can Google what to do in my feminine energy. It's unusual stuff. You can get it all together, or you can get one book at a time if you'd like. Just go up to my store, store.nicolecoleman.com. You can also get a lot of freebies there, a lot of PDFs, and you can take a couple of pages of the book and read it. Now, as I was on tour there, and I had a few events in Mallorca, I took a chance, because, you know, when you're a creative being, you don't just fucking give out your babies, because you know that the first person that won't respond with anything less than immense excitement or shock, because if you had one thing that you do, and go ahead, name it for me here, I'll tell you the one thing that I do. I blow people away. Like if someone said, describe in a phrase, what, who, and what are you? What do you do? Like what's your thing? What's your signature? What's your energetic signature? My fucking energetic signature, I blow people away. One guy's like, you blow? I said, people! I blow people. Don't fucking go there, but I blow people's minds. So I blow people away. And so I said to him, and at the time I only had 4. This guy started driving, like we were zigzagging, and he didn't scream or anything. He was very quiet, older man. And he's like, those aren't t-shirts. But again, the energy of how he said that, I know he was setting me up for something big. That's reading energy. And again, I'm also releasing, I have 4 intensive sessions on energetic literacy. Oh my God. Your whole life's going to be different. You're going to be able to tell everything. You're not going to meet or date someone that's going to ghost you, or then this and that and that. You're going to have a business deal. Like this would be key for leaders and salespeople, because it's kind of an equivalent to being a spy, where they teach you the psychology of people and body behavior and tone and mirroring and all this kind of techniques. But I teach you the root of that. You don't need these other techniques when you do what I do. People will just say to you, how did you know? How'd you get that from that? And, you know, you can just smile or send them my way. This intensive 4 package on energetic verification, can't leave home without it. And I'm telling you right fucking now, and I said it in my other live, with it, and I'll get back to the cab driver in a second. Those that know me know I go off on a lot of tangents. Just stay with me if you're able to. Within the next 2 years, AI is going to completely take over in a most wonderful way, because this gives a birth to what we need to happen, to have for us, in order to discern AI virality, which means AI is going to produce celebrities, politicians, clothing, words, they say. You're not going to be able to tell. There's going to be cloning. It's going to be like Mission Impossible. I remember I watched that when I was a little girl. It's going to be like that. Oh, no, that was with also, what's his face, Cruise, in his Impossible Mission or whatever, where they took off the face. There's going to be cloning, and there's going to be AI. And you're not going to be able to tell that it's not real, because you don't know how to read energy, because AI doesn't emit an energy. That's ours, that no one can take from us. It's our sacred branding. Energy is vitality, is spark, is life, is love, is God. The energy of God is unfucking mistakable. This is why, you know, I remember when I'll get back to the cab drive, I promise. For those that are interested in my energetic literacy private mentorship, DM me energy, and I'll send you the link and the information. When I was in a school, and it was a drama class, and the girl was doing a scene where she was in church praying to Jesus about her man coming back from war. I was blown away. Why? Because she left the room looking normal. When she came back, she was fucking glowing. She was glowing. She didn't put on makeup. She was like glowing. I remember, and I will pick up everything. So I'm like, dang, that girl's glowing. She's glowing. It's like God is sitting in her forehead. She's glowing. Why was she glowing? Because she was a good method actress. She was reliving meeting God for the first time, or some divine presence, and it showed in her body. So that energy you can't get off an AI. And I realized that this energetic literacy, which is so exciting because it comes from a need of what it seems like AI is taking over. Everybody's telling you dangers and this and that. AI can be put to such a beautiful use. I already know that. I'm going to write a book about that too. God help me with these next 3 books. No, sorry, 4 books. Oh my God. Huge. I wish I could give you the title, but I can't. It can be taken. I said the wisdom of the penis just once. I think I was doing my laundry somewhere. Within 30 days, it was on a Tonight Show with some celebrity. He said, well, it's like the wisdom of the penis. And everybody did a double. They said, what? He says, I don't know. I heard that somewhere. And I went, yeah, that's my fucking title. How did you hear it in that country? So I don't put it a minute before. I still produced my book. It's okay. It's on Amazon. It's hilarious. It's all in slang. And I'll tell you right now, you cannot read it front to back. I don't care how good you are as a reader. You can't. You can't. It's too dense. It's filled with a lot of wisdom. Kind of like trying to read the Bible. It's just one of those things that you have to take chunks at a time. And I remember a lady from Spain, she's like, oh my God, it's so rich, Nicole. It's like eating steak. I've had such amazing, I had a lady in Nova Scotia, not a lady, a professor, but she was a female. English lit class. Yeah, I'll get back to the taxi cab, don't worry. English lit and a lawyer. Imagine being contacted by this person when you write a book in slang that has all the slang. Because, you know, I like to spearhead everything for Gen Z because they're our generation. She wanted to review the book. In other words, she was going to buy books for the whole class. And I said, review what, though? Like the content of this. She says, it's very dense with wisdom. It's very, you know, beautifully written and all that. She says, but no, it's something else. She says, you have such a unique writing style. That's never been told to me. When I analyzed that and I looked at it, I said, now, if you take an older person of today, they're going to have an aneurysm trying to read the book because it goes here, then there, jumps back. It's very conversational. It's meant for Gen Z, although adults have gotten it. But the old school, you know, the older people that are not on my channel and don't know this at all, their brain might collapse on the table. But what she was talking about, the unique quality, is that it's energetically written. I take you out of your, see, usually you read a book and it goes through the mind and it just circles and then you follow it here. When you read my book, it takes the energy from here and it grabs you. So it takes your energy and it merges with the book. So the energy of the book, which is Gen Z style, it just kind of hits you and it stimulates the young adult in you. Because a lot of things that we got crippled with that originated with family was cemented in junior high and high school. and then college if he went there and whatever. So it's interesting. But this cab driver, I'm telling you, he just said, "This is not these are not t-shirts." I said, "Oh." He says, "This is next level t-shirts. This changes everything." I said, "You mean changes the game?" He says, "See, yeah, whatever the Spanish word is." He says, "Change everything," because he was hit with the energy of it. It's not a cliche that has been passed from mouth to mouth to mouth, where you go and you go, "Oh yeah, that's so smart." You won't be able to talk about what you're seeing, because just like when a man sees a woman that's drop dead gorgeous and he's like, he's not like this, because when a man's in shock, he's like, "How do I capture that? Oh wow, what's that? It's amazing to see a guy when he's taken by you, like he looks deranged. It's hilarious for me. But that's because it short-circuited his intellect brain, her energy and her beauty. So it knocked him out of his IRS lobe and it put him into the feeling mode. He didn't know his last name, let alone what day it is, which means also if he had a problem, that evaporated like that. Such is the gift of a woman's beauty in the eyes of that man. So these t-shirts, it's not about it being illuminating. It's not about it being written something from the Bible or something wise and you saying, "Oh, that's smart." It's an energy evoking fucking machine. Just like if you take the wisdom of the penis and you go to Starbucks, do you think no one's going to approach you? If you're a bunch of girls, if you're this would be hilarious. Wouldn't it be cool if I had a beach retreat and we were all women reading the wisdom of the penis, like where men are, or all men? Somehow we're going to make that happen. I think that would be hilarious. But imagine 3 girls at a bar reading the wisdom of the penis. Like that just goes without say. Hold on, I just want to. Let me see all messages, if I can see all messages here. Wait, oh, that was interesting. Hold on. It seems that there's, okay, so we'll just leave it at that. Okay, let me just change it back to all messages. So I know I've jumped across quite a bit, but everything leads to everything. In the next 2 years, you're not going to be able to tell who's real and who's false. But it's okay, because it brought to birth something that I'm going to teach, and that's going to get rid of all the dating issues. Because you're no longer going to need to have 3 years with the guy or 3 months with the guy to know he's a ghosting energy. You're not going to be taken by a faker. Needless to say, you would have to be authentic. And I will teach you how to do all that in this 4 intensive literacy mentorship. So let me just read to you. Let me just read to you so we can get very clear on the topic of today. Or maybe, oh my God, there's a baby crying. Baby crying. We need to just move a little with the baby crying. Let me just put something a little bit warmer on me, and then I can sit outside with you and not worry about the baby crying, because that just does a bit of number on me. I get very sensitive when there is a baby crying. So let's just go this way, okay? So what I'm going to read, which is what the live is about, but again, there's a lot going on simultaneously. A lot going on, love, simultaneously. And one day, when I'm in a position to talk about it all at once in a very organized fashion, I will be deliriously happy. Okay, so right now, let me go this way. If you have any questions about anything, You know, it's funny because on my TikTok, I don't know why the people there are just not bashful like you guys are, but it's fine. I mean, it's okay. You need to get to know me. That's fine. But today, for those ladies are here, and the men that are here, we're going to be dealing with something most women never even admit out loud, which is the cost of mothering your man. Yeah. Nicholas, you got to get out of your baby mode, man-child business. It's not suiting you. Okay, so we're not just talking about, wait a minute, where am I here? We're not just talking about emotionally, energetically, financially, and even physically, but we're going to talk about why doing this, mothering your man, which means he no longer has a sexual attraction towards you, keeps your love, your life, and your power as a woman completely fucking stuck. So here's the truth. When a woman is constantly soothing the weak guy, correcting the weak man, especially when he's in his feminine distortion, masculine distortion, so he's not anchored in his logic of his value of who and what the fuck he is. That means the woman is now carrying double the energy. So she's responsible for his feelings now, his comfort, his daily chaos. And then guess what happens? The man doesn't even notice because he's expecting you to clean his ass. You're a mother. And so he's not aware that he's being mothered, but he just feels entitled to your attention. You no longer have time to take care of yourself, and you figure you do more and more shit for him. You start looking drabby. You don't do your nails, you don't do your hair, you don't do anything, and you don't feel valuable anymore. And then you cling to him more, and you think you have to do more, because who would want you, is what you're thinking. So every time you soothe over his mood and not allow yourself to tell him how inadequate he is, or how this will not do, or this will not do, because you're scared to hurt his little feelings, and you clean up his mess, or you give him advice, and you teach him how to love you, which, I don't know, you don't even have to teach a 4-year-old knows how to love you. A 4-year-old man knows how to love a girl. So if your guy doesn't know how to love, he's severely handicapped. So giving him advice, when you do all this, you trade your vitality, complete vitality, for temporary calm, appeasing him. And then what happens? The universe mirrors it. Your career energy, your abundance, your creativity, all of that starts to stall because you've outsourced your power to him, because he has fuck all. So here's a deeper truth. Mothering your man, which is not the same as inspiring your man. Mothering your man doesn't come from love. It comes from survival patterns. The same ones your mom taught you, or the ones you absorbed maybe growing up. If I care for others, I'm safe. If I please, I'm loved. But here's the thing. Real love thrives when both people are fully responsible for their own fucking energy, and there's a polarity involved, not a triggeredness involved. Okay, when you mother him, and this is really important, you train your nervous system to protect him, feeble as he is. And in that state, your feminine essence, that magnetic power that you have as a woman, that seductive energy, it's dead. It can't exist, because that seduction is Empress energy, which lives in opulence and safety, not survival. Does that make sense to you? I'm getting hot now that you talk about sensual and seduction and all this. Hold on. Oh my God, I'm getting hot. So just notice this. The more you mother him, you'll notice the more he resists responsibility. You'll always notice, and this will happen at the beginning of a relationship. He'll start giving you gifts and doing little things for you. You start moving in with him. You start cleaning his whole fucking house, his whole fucking garage. And then those gifts disappear. And then you hold back because what you're doing is not even being noted. He didn't even say, oh my God, you scrubbed the walls, you washed the whole place, my apartment looks amazing, because you now became his mother / handmaid in energy. Because responsibility is heavy and uncomfortable. Pay attention to that part. Please share. An energy that is constantly rescued will never fully awaken. That's his pathetic ass. And let me just say this to all the real men. If there's any men here, true masculines, they won't be affected from what I'm saying. The ones that are triggered because they're the femme bitch boy toys that can't hold their own and can't hold a woman. It's really sad because they're the same type of guy that will say, I can't see you cry. You think it's because he can't see you sad because he cares. Oh, no. He can't see you cry because it's making him uncomfortable. Not because of what you're going through. Do you feel anything off what I just said? It's the same kind of guy that will have to rush in and tell you about his bad fucking day. To which you'll say, I can't take this in now. I just had a big day. I can't take this in, and I can't. To which he'll feel rejected because you are protecting yourself. So beside it looking like it's all about them, they are in an inferiority collapse. That's a distortion. They can't see that you're protecting yourself, where they would actually get the opportunity to man up and give you some comfort. What do you need, hun? Let's go take a walk. And then in your eyes, they're your hero. So do you see that very simple thing? These men can't handle a ridicule, can't handle you doing something to keep yourself safe because they're used to you being a mother keeping them safe, which is no longer a man, but some other creature in my eyes. So when the responsibility is heavy and uncomfortable, and the energy that's constantly rescued, never fully awakened, then although, because mother energy is a masculine energy, although you're used to being a career woman and masculine energy does belong there, but heads up, you don't think of leaving your balls there. You take it home to your guy. Last you checked was a masculine energy, and two masculine energies will collide and they will repel each other. So that means by default, he has to get into his feminine energy. That's why he's passive aggressive. That's why he no longer initiates. That's why he makes no plans. That's why you feel like you're doing everything. That's why you're fucking tired. You get into your masculine drive, and in your career, the career may take off, but at the cost of your health and at the cost of your intimacy. Because, and this is huge. Oh, wait, I got to tell you this. Fuck, this is huge. This is something else that I've also created. It has to be at least 5 women, and it will be those that are in your office or part of your employees. 5, I'd say up to 20, max, maybe 30. The women of today that are running in their masculine energy for the career and don't know how to unplug from that, and they remain in their masculine, and I'm going to answer questions in 2 minutes, okay? They remain in their masculine energy in their relationship where it has no business being. Because your inherited birthright is being a woman to receive first, then give back. a little bit back, so that your light is always high. So you always have ample of giving. You're not scraping from the gutter to give, which is mother energy, which is sacrificial energy. Now, you take that sacrificial, disciplined, competitive energy, ruthless, I don't stop till I get the job done, and you take it home to work. What do you think that does in a relationship? It makes him demand more. It makes you punish yourself more. And the biggest criminal act that it does is it keeps you in the energy of giving, of being responsible, of being disciplined. It's as if the relationship is your boardroom now. And nowhere in your life are you in the energy to receive just because of who you are, not what you've built. So what happens now is in your relationship, you're not in the energy of Empress energy to receive. Oh, and if you want to switch into Empress energy, I would get the mini package. I would get the mini package, because you can't switch into Empress energy when you're in survival mode. I would have to extract pain out of you that is now connected to past timelines, not just when you were a kid, but lifetimes. And because they're alive in you, pain makes you feel two things. I need to expect more, so I need to be on guard. What do I need to sacrifice now in order to be safe later, which never happens? And because there's been so much pain, I feel guilty. And what does that do? Those that know me already know. Guilt only does one thing. And it does it actually across the board. And what that is, let me just move all this. Guilt seeks punishment in every area of your life. So with all this pain inside you in the relationship, you can't possibly receive like an Empress. You don't feel worthy of it because you're stuck in a different timeline of those pains. Back when you were little, back when you were younger, back many lifetimes ago, you're there. You're not here right now as an adult, being your fab self, going, I receive, give to me, I totally deserve it. I totally deserve it, not because of what I've done with my life, but because of who I am as a woman. Who I am, like specifically, who I am. Michal, here, who I am. I know who I am. And so I welcome and I receive everything. But you won't, because you're still in, call it biz mode. You're still in masculine, hard ass, big balls mode, that you don't even feel like taking a bath. Let me take a shower because I know I can do it in 2.5 seconds. And that fucks you up more, because you are conditioning yourself not to receive an easier life. Here's why this affects your wealth. Then you go from your relationship, which is an overspill of your business, and then you snap back to the other extreme and go back to your business with having to pull your man's weight. And what does that energy do in your business? It convinces you that sacrifice equals love. So therefore, what I love, which would be wealth, means I have to sacrifice. So you're conditioned to believe that you have to grind, that your health could be at the cost, or your intimacy could be at the cost. But if you were in the receiving mode, and then you take that expectation of, I always receive so much from my man, and you go to business, money will shine on you. It will just draw to you like some poster, like just in the wind. They'll just stick on you, because value attracts value. So because you're in your career and you haven't learned how to disconnect, which there's no school on it. From what I know, I'm the only one that teaches that. There are many femme coaches. I don't call myself a femme coach. People tried to call me a guru and a life coach and this. I'm none of that. I am simply a person who sees distortion energies very well, unlike anyone else, and can name them because I'm gifted. And I give that credit to being a Heyoka empath. I have all the traits of a Heyoka empath, a psychic Heyoka empath. That's why when people talk to me, they go, oh my God, just yesterday you said that word and I was thinking about that, which draws them closer to me, because when I am speaking to you about something that you need to learn, your soul will have a conference with mine and have a walkie-talkie issue thing going on. And I will splat out all the keywords that will make it very reflective. What is this? Very reflective to you, so that it wakes you up and it connects it for you. The other way you will always know with whoever you're with, if they are effective, is that energies can't lie. So you don't get body chills with someone who's fake, and you don't get body chills with a man or a woman that doesn't really mean what they say. The people who are in front of me, my clients, over 3,000 of you, mostly from my TikTok channel, but it started at YouTube. Chills, tears, blah, 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 blah. Life changes. For you to invest yourself, whether it's a business course, whether it's some life coach, or with me, your life should show changes next 2-3 days, not in months. Because energetically, if you no longer feel guilty about something, not because a shrink says, oh, you shouldn't feel guilty, they're an idiot, that doesn't change your energy, because that's not the root of it. But when you're with someone that talks about the root of it, your energy changes, life changes around you, and people change around you. That's how it works with me. So I don't know about other people. So let me keep reading. So it will come at the cost. Your emotional clarity will be blocked. Your health may start signaling warning signs, and love, real love, nourishing love, it doesn't grow in a mother dynamic. That's a rescue thing. And it withers in favor of control and survival. That's just... So what should you do? What could you do? You step the fuck back. You stop rescuing him. You let him experience the consequences. Do not be afraid, even the minor consequences. And you hold your own space. You protect your own energy. You let him be uncomfortable. I can say, and you need to be okay with him being uncomfortable, but you can't, because you feel guilty. And the only reason you feel guilty is because you've got pain locked inside. And again, this is what you will feel: cruel. But because your energy is sacred and it deserves reciprocity, it might bother you. But in my experience with the clientele that have come to me, and if you want to read reviews and all that kind of nice stuff, go to my store, Nicole Coleman. They're all over there. You can ask yourself, am I mothering him? That question alone am I rescuing him? You step into power when you ask that. A certain power that not even him can take it from you. Now, let me just answer a few questions, see if there's any real questions here for me to answer, because I don't waste my time with questions that are not questions. But hold on. And if you want to check out my recent book, Sacred and Feral, feel free to do that. Feel free to do that also. Store.com, Nicole. No, sorry, store.nicolecoleman.com. Okay, let me. Oh, Dan, thank you for sending me all these diamonds. I so appreciate it. That is amazing. Hi, Sherry. Irfan, hello. So the 4 packages are one-on-one, not a class? Yeah. Oh, no, 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 no. The 4 packages are intensive one-on-one. Of course they are. Thank you for the heart, Nicholas. Okay, so Nicholas, you have a very good question. Aren't you supposed to look out for those who look out for you? First of all, the supposed word is a little bit of a resistance here. Can you flush out that sentence? Do you mean, is a woman supposed to look out for you like you're a 13-year-old and you won't make the right choice? Like what do you mean exactly? Can you give me an example? Sherry says, you are pulling through information that I've not noticed before. It perhaps phrased differently. Well, that's great. That's great. Balance. No, I'm not divorced, Nicholas, so you're wrong. Thank you for sending me all these diamonds, Dan. I wish it was for real. That would be amazing. Thank you so much. Sherry, do men who are feminine, so you're talking distortion, not like actors and successful feminine men who know how to be both. You're talking about distorted guys, right? Right. Okay. Do men who are feminine guys do transactional relationships, hurting you and then getting you a gift, but he has no feeling for you after hurting you? I think what you're talking about is, do sometimes a guy gives you a gift after they hurt you to make up for it, and it doesn't really mean anything. I wouldn't say it doesn't mean anything. I would say perhaps he's doing the best he can, but there's no blame on him, but you have to look at yourself and what you didn't do. And what you didn't do is you continue to have the relationship with him, perhaps after accepting the gift, even though reluctantly so, but nothing changed in his energy. And so he's going to do it the same in a different way. If a person brings you a gift, but you know that they're not going to be different, why would you accept the gift? Because accepting the gift means we can move forward, but you can't really move forward, right? Because the way the man was. I have a video, I don't know that I put it out yet, on how the word sorry is useless. And there's no need to forgive. That was the vid. I don't know if I put it here. And basically, let me just sum it up. When a guy makes a natural mistake and he sees you're devastated by it, and even before that happens, or you do, okay? You say something at dinner with his parents that is personal to him that you thought was funny because you don't really care about shit like that. So you more wanted to make them laugh and make them like you, and he shrunk. And when you saw him daunted like that, after in the car, you held yourself and then you looked at him and you went, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was being purely selfish. I wanted them to love me. I used our personal thing. Never again. That is never happening again. Oh my God, I don't even know. I'm cringing right now. I don't even know what you went through. And he's like, so here's the thing. When a man does the same thing and he's like, oh my God, fuck, I can't believe I was such a dumbass. I can't believe I did that. And all those kind of things. When that happens, I'm telling you right now that when you see a man like that, you know he feels the remorse. He feels the remorse. There's no need to forgive anything. What are you forgiving? It was an error. He's already said this is never happening again. So there's no need to forgive someone like that. People who really feel what they've done are basically taking the time to feel the pain they caused you, not to show you they're feeling the pain that caused you, but they are authentically feeling the pain they caused you. That alone erases everything, because your pain just needs to be seen. The word I'm sorry does fuck all. When you see someone freaking out about what they just did to you because they are empathically feeling what it was like to be you at that moment, you will see that it won't bother you the same. So there's no need to forgive, provided you hear and they've stamped it in their mind that they are not doing it again. It is the guy who says, oh, honey, I'm so sorry, or your best friend that says, oh, I'm so sorry, expect it again. How difficult is it to say you're sorry? And what the fuck is that? It's a symbol. It's not, you don't even know what she went through, because if you feel it onto yourself, you won't do it again. Because people are interested in themselves and how much they feel pain. That's why a femme guy doesn't want to see you cry, because it hurts him. Now, you doesn't give a fuck about the fact that you're going through it. He's worried about his discomfort, which I know is embarrassing, but that's just where it is. So when someone says, I'm sorry, and he gives you the lip service, the label, the word, the symbol, sorry, and you forgive him and give him a get out of jail free card to do it again. Because that person who can't feel, and I'm not saying everybody has to be dramatic. Some men are more subtle. They could just be livid. But you can feel energetically when someone recognizes what they've done, and it's not going to happen again. The other type of people, it's going to happen again. It may not happen in that specific category. It may not happen that specific way, but it will happen again. Those are the people you don't need to forgive, but you need to cut off. So life is very simple. So if you're saying to me now, let me just, it's funny how you use the word transactional, which makes me ask you, was your intention to be transactional? Ask yourself, did I just want this man friend or dating guy I saw to be my boyfriend for the time? He's not really what I want, but did I just want him to kind of just be someone that I'm seeing right now? I didn't want to be by myself. That's all transactional. If he's not everything, if you don't meet a guy and you're like, oh my God, yeah, hell yeah, I can size him up. I know the feeling. I like the way he looks and I like the way he handles himself with people. And this is a yes, it's calling me. My heart's going, please, oh God. And then you bring him to you. That's not transactional. But if you're attracting someone that's transactional, then I have to ask, where are you also looking for something transactional, not permanent? Next. If she sleeps with another, there will always be her mother. I don't even get what that means. You should listen to Master Ogwe. Dan, you should not use the word should, because no one should, but if you are the type of man who inspires like a leader and inspires with interest, not ego, then maybe you can get more people to listen to Master whoever through inspiration, not dogmentation, not dictation. And then you will have succeeded in getting your message across. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Sherry. Sonia, hi! What a great live last time. I was so fucking happy and proud with you. Hi, Nicole, it's Sonia. Question. I'm shifting into my feminine and I'm getting a little bit of resistance and some miracles to explain why it's confusing energy coming into my world. Well, like I said, you're okay. So, two things coming right now. Your landscape of your world is seen by two ways. First of all, who you keep around you, because you're merging with their energies. So, who's close to you? What kind of energies do they have? Your outside world will mirror that. I don't care where you live and nobody's there. Let's say some big limousine or whatever, or nice car, his tire will go out. It doesn't matter how secluded you may think you are, or whatever your situation, or no one comes this way or whatever. Your landscape is formed in two ways. If you're around people who have an old mentality of scarcity and fear and attachment to shame, 3D living, you conceal yourself, sweetheart. But you conceal your energy. If you don't know, I need you to book a one-on-one. But if you know how, you seal your energy so you don't take on their energy. It will be reflected wherever you go, the magic of your energy. And the other way the landscape of your life is reflected to you is by the language that you use in your mind, to yourself and to other people. So if you spend a lot of time just with yourself and you're confused, or you doubt things, or there's the energy of when, then that is not feminine energy. That's anxiousness, masculine energy. So resistance is not feminine energy, because she lets everything happen. Even if there is some resistance, she's like, I'm okay with this. Are you okay with just like having things shift? But first of all, examine the language. Second of all, who are the energies that are most around you? So you got to put, that's the thing about women. They don't use commas and they don't use periods. This is why I love men who give us structure, because I can understand what you're saying. A little resistance and some miracles. Are you saying that you don't understand why you're feeling resistance and miracles? The beautiful thing is that you are really shifting, because there wouldn't be these miracles, honey. Someone said to me, and was it Sherry? Yes, and Sherry's here, and you can confirm that, Sherry. Sherry had said, my God, this miracle happened while I was watching your live. And then even when I replayed it. So Sonia, did this miracle, just wondering, happen 2 days ago when you were watching my other live? Or did it happen after we did our sessions? Or did it happen when something changed in your mind and pain was extracted? Sherry says, wow, thank you so much. You are so right. He gives the language that he changed, but you are right. That's not, he didn't give. You took. Sherry, you took. You took, and it's okay. It's okay. You took it, baby. You took language, because dominant masculine women look for language. That's why they get ghosted and fucked and faked and everything and breadcrumb, because I promised not to and I'm sorry and blah, blah. You took language. You didn't receive energy that carries the language. That's the energetic literacy that I was talking about, that I hone into with those 4 sessions. But again, if you can just not listen to the language and watch for the action, that will also help you a lot. I never felt the remorse from him. Just give her a gift and she will forget and forgive and go on. That's what you were taught. And that is what you are unlearning. And that's what I'm unlearning with all the other women. You know what? It's because women are like little girls. They get very excited. I mean, you know what? This is so hilarious. This was so hilarious. You just reminded me of something. Now I got to bypass this with Gen Z. Okay, so men were taught this, and they're very smart to utilize it. And here's what it is. To give a gift, and that smooths out everything. Okay, let's look at this. I was at a very posh food marketing, fresh, a lot of European different foods and all these. It was a very beautiful arranged stores. And I was standing in line, and the guy right next to me, to my left, had a humongous cupcake, a whole big thing. It was, and the icing and the pictures on it was like a fucking world. So many details of like the fucking tree with the apples and the cork and the little leaf and the mushrooms with the dots and the little ladybug. And I was like, you know, I got so enamored and I knew exactly what was happening. So I looked at that fucking cupcake with all this stuff on it. It was beautiful. It was humongous. And I looked at him and I said, "Had a fight with your girl, huh?" He goes, "Yeah." And I looked at it and I said, "Feed her heart before you feed your heart on, huh?" And he goes, "Oh my God. If that was a t-shirt, I'd so wear it." It was hilarious. It was hilarious. So, and it's true. And that's why there's a fucking alarm. Oh, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. For those of you who don't know how I work and don't know how life talks to you and everything, I'm telling you right now, you'll know in your own life when amazing things happen. But this alarm, I'm glad I wrote something down, is just telling me, oh fuck, that's so hilarious. I wrote the phrase that this guy went crazy over in my book, The Wisdom of the Penis. It has a picture of a guy and a girl holding hands. No, at first he's like this with his bicep, and she's like looking the other way. And it says on top, "Feed her heart before you feed your heart on." And then the next page, they're walking hand in hand. It was just very beautiful. So it has been taught that way. Absolutely. And, you know, the beautiful thing about women is that they get over anger very quickly when they're in their feminine. They don't hold a grudge and this and that. So this gift thing really works. But we've got a whole different brand of men today. It's a distortion of weakened men who do not know emotional language, but their emotional intelligence doesn't match their intelligence. So they're in a feminine distortion, which means they have too much emotions, not enough clarity into not feeling affected when she said, "It hurt me when you did that." Not to take that as he's a piece of shit, but just to take that action did not give him the results he's looking for, which is to enhance her being, which then will enhance all his beings. That's just a basic formula. You cannot have a woman so happy, elated with you, and be a fucking failure in life. You will be successful because her joy, which is her energy, which is her light, spills into you, especially when you go inside her body and you attract wealth. And she is your energetic shield that keeps, I don't know, envy, evil eye, all those things that they have, negative entities, people saying bad things, people saying, "Oh, wow, great new car you bought, then you crash it that day." It's that kind of a thing. You have no idea what's going on today. So because we have a different type of men and different type of women that are making the men weaker, and the men's way of being is keeping the women sicker It's not a blame game. This has been fucking devised so that we are fucking divided. So our own fucking counterpart, which is our man, can be seen as a fucking enemy. That's like having toxic as fuck family. Don't even fucking use the F word with them, because bloodline is not fucking equaling privilege because you have the same blood. When they want to scare you, when they want to put fear in you. You know, there is a story in the Bible. I think it's Joseph. He was very bright. His father loved him, I think, a little bit more than the other 7 brothers. He was very gifted, and he ended up being a doctor. What did the other brothers do? He was sick. They knocked him over or ambushed him when he was asleep and wrapped him up in the blanket and then threw him into a pit where they then sold him as a slave, disappeared for some money. Sick. This is never going to be family. But, and this will be hard to hear for those who don't have patience. Not only does karma does not misplace addresses, but for people who really try to do you wrong, and for things like COVID and all these other things that are designed to imprison us, it's going to have the opposite effect. Because it's meant to be a signal, just like this AI thing, you're not going to be able to tell what's real. I know how to read energies. I can teach how to read energies. The distortion thing and not reading if something is real or not now is dating people, this and that, reading a guy's energy from the words delivered as opposed to the words that make masculine distorted women who live in their logic susceptible to his fucking words is just going to change the whole landscape of the dating game and the love game. And it's going to bring it more authentic because the woman's going to be more authentic. You can't fuck with an authentic woman because what you are, you can feel what someone isn't. But if you're deceitful with yourself, if you overlook things in yourself, or if you have other motives with other people, you cannot be able to tell the other person's doing it with you because you're susceptible to it. But when you're authentic and that person is not, it will be a contrasting energy. And so not only do all their lines and shit won't hit, you'll just look at them like, excuse me, ding, 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 ding. You're saying what? You want to repeat that? Oh, you should, but no, I should nothing. I should nothing. I could, if you inspired me to. Or some people may say, you're going to be tired if you do that. No. Don't distort my reality. You might not be able to handle the load, but I won't be tired. Don't put that in my head. You don't catch all the things that people say that takes darts and stab it at your reality that you're building. And it was, it's like whizzing, like when a balloon has a wind, it's losing your power. And so you've got some soft spots around. That actually might be the answer to you, Sonia, in wondering why life is showing this and that. Okay, no intent to be transactional. I tended to believe in his potential. That is transactional, Sherry. Because you weren't buying, let me put it this way to you. You weren't buying the car with all the 4 wheels to drive it out of the shop. You were buying the engine of the car that had no wheels. You weren't buying what you were thinking you were buying. So you weren't being true to yourself. It's the same thing. Sonia says, yes! yes, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. No, my miracle happened last week with work. I chose not to overthink, and I was giving something I wanted. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Sherry's like, wow. You're welcome, baby. I see. You're welcome. So let me just take this one step further. And again, continue with the questions if you'd like. How are we doing on time? Let's see where we are. An hour and a half. I'm getting ready, just about to wrap this up, but just let me just see if I can give you a little bit more. Everything that's about to change is all going to be amazing. It's going to give birth. You know, it was really interesting. Gary Vee, which is someone I really love, he said, in the way things are moving now, with AI, same thing, taking over, there will be people who will make money up here, and there will be a lot of you who won't make anything. Okay. So what he's saying is, everything that happens to the world gives birth to a need of what the world is going through. And you may say, well, I don't know how to do this, and I'm not involved in AI, and I don't know codes and this and that and that. It's not about learning something that's not a passion of yours. It's about linking into what makes you alive, which again, this is something also I do with my people. If you'd like to start your passion project and have it geared into all your talents and gifts that you may know or you may have forgotten, because when you were a child is when it was there and it's been snuffed. When I link things that have happened in past lives in terms of traits, and I'll know what they are because I'll know the sinkholes you're stepping into right here and now. They will tell me exactly, and I will be bang on. You will have this sense of not, oh, I'm so relieved, but clarity means that pain is no longer bothering you, that you thought something was wrong with you. Because when you have the right type of medicine that has no side effects, it just fucking works, things change instantly. And along with that, I'm able to see the gold that you brought here, which means when you design something that only you can do, there is no competition for your business. So it's not about going to see what people need. It's about what is it that you were born with, and then I can always create where it fits into with all the needs, because I can see needs that haven't been spoken of yet. So if you would like to do that, book a one-on-one. We could start, take it from there. All right, everybody. So I'm going to wrap it up for now, and I will continue doing this live. I can't believe it's an hour and a half already. That's really good. I will continue doing these live every Sunday at 3 p.m. And I will do the lives on my TikTok channel, and I love Heyoka, almost 155,000 people, a lot of information there. You can help yourself. I also have series there, how to recognize a femme guy. It's like 8 videos, each 20 minutes long. You're not going to wonder anymore. I have a series on how to detach from someone, and a series on how to bring your boyfriend back. And what I love about the how to bring your boyfriend back, and I would not do it if it was ego-based. I would do it only if you screwed up. When I talked about that, there was a girl on the same live that said, oh yeah, it'll work. It'll work. She couldn't believe that it worked. It's not hocus pocus. It's energies and pain blocking shit and other couple things that I was very gifted to know and do the videos, and it's affected a lot of people. So it's on for sale as well. It's not very pricey. The other TikTok channel is TikTok at Michal Divine, MichaldIvine. So you can go there. I will be there every Friday at 7 p.m. ET time. Bye for now.